Hey everyone! So hopefully by now you have had the chance to see Sonic the Hedgehog. You guys, Sonic is doing so well in theaters and I'm so excited. As most of you know, Paramount invited me out to the premiere, which was really super cool to do in LA with my family. I got to interview the cast, like Jim Carrey, James Marsden, and Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz and my daughter had a moment. My little daughter, not a moment like that. That's gross. She's 7. A really cute moment, and he made like her life. So very awesome. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully you've had time to watch it now so we can talk about it. We can discuss it. There are going to be spoilers, major plot point spoilers in this video. I am here to do I can't really do it while I'm holding him, 10 most emotional moments of Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's get into it, guys. Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. So for those of you who have been sticking around with me for a while now here on my YouTube channel, you know that one of my favorite things to do is my 10 most emotional moments of certain movies where it makes sense. I think I started this back with Avengers Infinity War and just kind of grew and grew from there. So for Sonic the Hedgehog, the whole time I was watching the movie, I was like, I have to. Because from the very beginning, there were moments that had me emotional. Now, what does emotional mean? It is not just like sad, crying. There's all sorts of different emotions. Happy, angry. You guys know it's emotions. It's the definition of emotions. So that is what I'm talking about here in this video. The 10 most emotional moments of Sonic the Hedgehog in order of how they happened in the movie. More or less. Sometimes I flip-flop one or two, but not in how emotional they made me. So let's get into it, guys. First was seeing little baby Sonic, little young Sonic, but not just seeing him on his planet. Seeing him on his planet, seeing him go through the loop, whatever you would call that, like seeing him be in Green Hills Zone. Basically, he was in Green Hill Zone and it was amazing. And if you were a fan of the video games, like I was just perma-smile at that moment. I thought it was really awesome, really cool. It was exciting. I felt like a little kid again, and I loved my kids being able to see it. And the whole audience really kind of gasped at that moment, like, this looks perfect. This looks good. Like this is what we want in a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And so even though it was very quick and short before he headed off to Earth through a ring, by the way, that's awesome. It was really awesome. It made me super emotional. Just a whole mix of nostalgia and happy and excited and anxious and relieved that I knew. That's when I knew. I thought this is going to be a good movie because I was cautiously optimistic, but that's the moment when I said, yes, Sonic the Hedgehog is going to be a good movie. My second moment that I want to talk about basically happens in that scene. It's when Long Claw's hit by the arrows. Guys, that was a little violent. That was a little, like, my daughter cried quite a bit. My 7-year-old, my youngest, she was not okay with that. It was pretty realistic and like almost to the point where it was a little creepy, but I was like, oh my God, like it touched my heart. And then you see Sonic be really sad and try to get back in through the ring, but it closes. That was pretty emotional, and it made me sad. I shed a little tear. I didn't sob like my daughter, but I shed a little tear. It was a little sad. It was sad. So that was definitely an emotional moment for me, although I'm glad, like, you know, they picked right up and you they turned it around a little bit, although it was kind of sad. Thinking of what's going on with Sonic, he was all alone and not happy, clearly, kind of feeling sad and on the outside. So that was a little depressing. So that whole kind of moment, maybe those couple of minutes were a little intense and a little emotional for me. Number 3, you guys, the Sega theme song. I love that they stuck that in there. I thought that was great. Again, it made me like super emotional to see Sega on the screen, and we were like, yeah, Sega! Ah! You know, stuff like that. Just, it makes you excited. It makes you happy. So I count that because I almost didn't, but I was like, you know what, I'm counting that. So I know those first 3 happened in like the first 10 minutes of the movie, maybe even less. But they were all really super emotional for me. I felt like a roller coaster of emotions at the beginning, but well worth it. Well worth it because Sonic the Hedgehog was such a good movie. Next would be the slow motion scenes. So this is kind of a collective, I guess. Maybe I could specifically say the first slow motion scene, but just in general, Sonic's slow motion stuff was really cool. Like at the bar, that was really awesome. You see him going through and changing all the stuff. And then, of course, later there's another one as well. I'm trying to not give out like major spoilers, but it's just really cool. You know, when he's sitting there and he's tapping his foot, and I was like, Sonic is tapping his foot and looking at his watch, and it was like the best. It was so awesome. But that's way later on in the movie. But, you know, he does the slow motion with Robotnik, but then Robotnik catches up to him. That's the whole thing. That's a major spoiler. But I just loved the slow motion. I thought it was done really well, and it made me super excited and, like, giddy. So I had to include it, because I was like, if I'm sitting here being giddy over this, I need to include it as an emotional moment. And speaking of emotional moments, you guys, one that made me cry, because I'm a baby. There's several times I cried in this movie. But when Sonic is writing out his bucket list, and Tom looks over to see he's crossed a lot of them off, and then there's the one that says, make a real friend. Sonic, make a real friend. Oh my God, I'm going to tear up now thinking about it. I was so sad. I was like, Sonic, I want to be your friend. Sonic, I'll be your friend. How sad was that? Like, this poor hedgehog has been living on Earth with no friends. None. And now, like, he has on his bucket list, make a real friend. And he hadn't even considered Tom his real friend at the time, because he didn't even cross it off. So it was sad. I was like, oh, poor Sonic. So that part definitely got me, for sure. And then later, when Sonic gets hit by the blast, so they're being chased by Robotnik, and he's sending out all these things, and there's like the big car, and then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and all the little things, you know, because that's Robotnik and his technology. And I thought that was awesome. I did love how they capture that. And Jim Carrey, by the way, fantastic as Robotnik. But then Sonic takes a little tiny one, and it's stuck to his fur, and he's throwing it all over the place, and then it blows up, and he gets hit, and you think he dies. Like, you legit think Sonic dies. So that was really sad. That part got me. And then so that's one moment. I thought, and then he ends up taking to his wife, to Tika Sumpter's character, what's her name, Maggie, maybe, I think, take Sonic. That whole part was hilarious. Oh my God. It's so, maybe I should even change stuff around and include this. This is basically like it's a live video here, guys, because oh my God, his wife's sister was hilarious. So funny. But anyways, that whole scene, that whole part in her house was fantastic. But so when you thought Sonic was, I mean, I didn't think he was like dead then, but it was still like really super sad. And like I said, he got hit by the blast, and he's like trying to get his wife to save him, and it was really sad. But then they woke him up with smelling salts, and he was fine. So yay. And then when you think Sonic is dead, so there's a whole lot of awesome action in between there, lots of fun, but nothing stood out as a really emotional moment for me until when you think Sonic is dead, and actually Robotnik and Tom are talking about him in the past tense, you know? And that alien, that little alien creature had more, you know, knew more about humans than you ever will, or was more human than you ever will be, something like that. And he's laying there. And then he says, Robotnik says, like, basically, why would you risk this for him? And Tom said, he's my friend. And then Sonic kind of wakes up. And that part I was like up and down emotions, like, oh my God, Sonic is dead. And I knew he wasn't going to be dead. Like, you know they're not going to kill him. You know he's going to be okay. But in that moment, still, I was crying. It was awful. I was like, oh my God, is he going to die? Is he going to be dead? He's not going to be dead. They wouldn't kill him. He can't be dead. He's not going to be dead, right? Like, that's what's going through my head. But at the same time, I'm still like, they portrayed it enough on the screen where I believed it. You know what I mean? And then Tom calls him his friend, and it was like, all over. Forget it. I'm a mess. I was a blubbering mess. And next is when Tom and his wife, I keep saying his wife because I think it's Maggie was her name. They revealed Sonic's bedroom to him, his attic, so they tell him to go back to his cave, and he's about to leave the house, and they go, to your cave, and he's like, what? And he goes up in the attic, and they moved all his stuff from his cave, all his stuff is there, and he's like, all my stuff is there. So basically they like adopted him, and I loved that part. It was so heartwarming, and I was like so excited, and I was like, they're like a family. Basically he's like their kid. It was so awesome. I loved that part so much. And then another emotional moment for me, second to last one if you're keeping track, is when you see Robotnik in the Mushroom Hills. I'm going to call it Mushroom Hill Zone, but you know what I mean. The Mushroom Planet. You see him there. And he has become Eggman. I mean, he has become Eggman. The transformation has happened. So that, first of all, fantastic. As a fan of the games, and as most of you know, I'm a villains girl. I love the villains. So for me, and he's been one of my favorite villains always. I mean, he's just so, I just love him so much. And so Jim Carrey's got the mustache, and he's all by himself, and he's tromping around, and like has changed, like I said, from Robotnik to Eggman, and that was just like, because number one, I was like, this means we're getting more. We're getting a sequel. For sure we're getting a sequel, because he's working on getting himself out. He basically says, I'll be out, I think he says in 6 months. So he's going to be out. So I was like, okay, I'm here for this. I'm excited. Let's do it. Which brings me into my final emotional moment, probably my top emotional moment from the whole movie too. Guys, spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. Tails. Tails shows up. Stay for the credits if you haven't already gone to see it and you don't care about spoilers. It doesn't matter. Stay. Keep your butt in the seats. Listen, Tails shows up. And number one, he looks amazing. So excited. I love me some Tails. Okay. And then he's like, if my calculations are correct, Sonic is here or whatever. And you're like, oh my God. So for sure, there's definitely going to be a second one. And it's going to be Tails. Is it going to be Sonic 2? Sonic and Tails? I don't know. But I'm so excited because number one, we have Tails. Now, we also have Eggman. He's totally Eggman at this point. He's not Robotnik anymore. You guys. If you are a fan of the video games, I don't understand how you could not love this movie. There was so much perfection in it. It was so amazing. So many awesome emotional moments. Like I said, an emotional roller coaster from this is amazing and all the nostalgia and oh my God to, oh my God, Sonic is super depressed. I feel really bad for him. He has no friends. Oh my God, Sonic's making a friend. Oh, now they're fighting. Oh no, they're fighting. I hope they end up okay together. Oh, they're okay now. They're friends. Oh God, Sonic is dead. Oh, that's okay. He's not dead, actually. Oh my God, his friend adopted him. This is amazing. What? Robotnik is Eggman now? And Tails showed up? That's basically how I feel about Sonic the Hedgehog. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. What were your most emotional moments for you? Give me your first top 5 or 10 of them. Let me know. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on amazing videos like this. If you have not already checked out my review, be sure to check it out. There's a video up here. Also, if you go to mamasgeeky.com, I have an article about the Easter eggs that you can find in the movie. Let me know down below in the comments if you want me to make a video of it too, because maybe I will do that. And just thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys. And go see Sonic the Hedgehog this weekend.